Hey, Instagram wants to work today. Let's go. That's huge. That is huge. Okay. I'm going to go live while I can. Cool beans, cool beans. Okay, looks like I'm live on both, which is good. A little bit earlier today than usually when I go this late, but still not as early as I'd like to have been, but I think this is a pretty good time. 9 o'clock. Thanks everyone for joining. What's up, B May? Just getting set up. Instagram's actually working this time where normally it wasn't letting me stream all at once. Hopefully I'm like in the middle of the screen again. But yeah, just gonna go through my agenda. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, so thanks everyone for watching, all the support. Really appreciate everyone being positive. Very few people have really been negative, but just maybe not always receiving. I don't know if like what I'm looking for necessarily, but like thought like maybe I'd have more growth on the page. Just trying to ultimately like do the steps they say to get yourself out there. I think ultimately Instagram and all these platforms, they want you to pay for followers, which I'm not saying I never would, but not really something I'm trying to do. Maybe at some point pay for advertisement. Who knows? I know everyone's probably sick of me already, kind of posting a ton and stuff like that. It does seem like it gets a positive response for the most part, but I'm definitely in my head about it. Like, oh, who really cares? Who wants to see this? Is it even helping anyone? Stuff like that, which doesn't really matter because I think it's helping me ultimately. I feel more connected to my community, kind of people reaching out and stuff like that. So there's definitely effectiveness. Kind of like coaching myself not to get down and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, the last thing I want to do is appear phony, really, in any way. And so, my goal is to really give the good, the bad, the ugly, and just be wholesome, holistic. I think there's more to have out of like someone just being, what do I want to say? I got like chocolate in my teeth. But someone being like very transparent and also vulnerable, right? Like I don't want to be here with like a facade. I don't want to pretend to be perfect by any means. Had a great day. Um, had a great day yesterday too. Got a lot done, which is good. But yeah, still just like feeling like there's a little bit more that could be had. Not exactly sure what that is. Definitely doing a lot of work. I think I'm just on the cusp of success, or really like reaching my goals. And there's just a few things kind of slowing me down and stuff like that are getting my way a little bit. But I always want to put a positive spin. Like I don't want to be phony, but I always want to see the bright side. No one wants to sit here and listen to someone like whine and cry or anything like that. So making sure that's not what I'm doing, but also just coming off as real. Things have been like hot and cold today. Not gonna lie. I think maybe I'll read the quote that Helen Keller kind of dropped up on us. Again, just kind of pulled this from like ChatGPT, but at least liked it. And what she says is like character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved. I do believe that, although I don't think life's about just constant suffering. But I do think if you're comfortable, you're not really growing, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we need comfort and we need to kind of chill and give ourselves that reward. I like to take Mondays to do that. So maybe I just kind of hit it a little too hard up until now and just kind of need that rest tomorrow. Gonna be helping my dad move tomorrow, which it's really not that hard, like mental work. Sometimes it's good getting a lift in, so that'll be most of my exercise, which is good. Definitely want to keep pushing forwards. I'm already at 3 minutes, and I have way too much written down, like usual. Trying to get this as close to 15 minutes as possible. But I am really grateful. I've got great family, great support system around me. Love my sisters, my brother, my mom, and my dad as well. They've been a huge help, and just really thankful for them. Thankful for a lot of the friends reaching out. Even like Paul Mead's been a huge help. Steve Luque reached out today. A couple old like childhood friends. Definitely keep reaching out, helping me out, and making me like just positive overall and keeping the vibes going. Big shout out Franny. She actually just joined too. Don't want to miss that. So everyone who's supported and joins in on these, really appreciate it. Hope you guys are having a good day. If you're feeling down, hopefully there's some lessons in here. If not, maybe it's just fun chilling with me, getting to hang out and kind of hear my voice. Not really sure. But yeah, I'm actually really excited. Both of my sisters are in the process of buying new homes, which is great. Melissa's been trying to move. I guess she's been trying to move out of the city, but she's gonna have her own place now, a little bit safer for the kids, a lot more room for them to grow into, which is awesome. I don't mean to like blow up her spot or anything like that. But it's still a long way to go. There's a chance it doesn't work out. But the reason I'm excited was I actually helped her to get a commission. And I think like there's maybe a little envy in there for me, or like coveting going on. Basically, the house is so so expensive that they're buying. Her making commission is almost like what I hope for the whole year to make. And so it is what it is. It's not like every day she's gonna buy a house this large and stuff like that. But I'm just like, wow. Maybe I should use it as motivation instead of like envy. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm very happy for her. She was actually close to not getting any commission. And then after talking to me, and I was like, something just doesn't sound right with the other realtor, we were able to actually get her commission. So I'm excited for her overall. I sometimes compare myself to other people too much, which isn't good. Believe it or not, it happens in your own family sometimes. I know I'm doing the right things. I'm just ultimately happy for her, and just need to kind of give up like oh, who cares that her commission's huge? Like, that's just a one-time thing. Pretty soon, if I keep working hard, my commissions will be well over that, and frequently. So definitely working on being less angry. Something that I kind of identified for myself was not like a crazy anger management, but there are times where I kind of like have breakdowns and like lose my positive mindset. I definitely sometimes will like say some four-letter words and really just get upset. And all it does is like, I don't know, exasperate the stress of it all. And so like really I'd love to learn more healthy techniques to get rid of the stress and the anger. Things like taking deep breaths. Tried like biting my cheek a little bit longer and think about what I want to say rather than exploding in the moment. Something new for me is setting boundaries and kind of just cutting off the communication. It feels a little childish, but I think until I can manage that anger, it's really just the healthiest thing to do. I kind of mentioned just in my head. So I'm not going to name any names, and I hope, I don't even think they watch these, to be honest, which is fine. Pretty sure we're not friends on Facebook, despite being pretty close. But someone close to me just asked like why I'm not in IT, why I'm not going back to that world. And it sucks because I was kind of just talking about real estate and how good I'm doing, and how even though the numbers aren't crazy there yet, like from being here for a few months, I've had several deals that are about to close, and then also just some clients that are ready to go. It's just a matter of any minute they could put an offer in. And I'm not worried about it. Like, I really do believe God has a plan. I think I'm in the right place. I feel healthier. I feel happier overall. I'm a lot more in tune with my emotions and not letting them just kind of stress me out beyond any sort of workability. But it was hurtful, right? Like, because it's kind of like, has that person not heard me kind of talk about how work was not really helping me? Work was making me feel kind of depressed. It was like my whole personality, or I don't even say like basically the value I put in myself was revolving around work. And then when things were going good, it was great at work. But then when things weren't going so well, like my whole life was in shambles. And now like, yeah, finances are important, but I don't think real estate's like my whole life, and my whole personality revolves around. That's why I'm doing things like the play that I'm trying to be in next month, the stand-up comedy, doing some of my writing. I think being able to be creative and, use your self-expression is huge. And so I don't think any amount of money is worth giving that up. And so, I don't want to give too many details of the person like, wow, you're talking bad about me. But it's just like, they're like, oh, I know 3 people that are working remote in South Carolina. They're making over 130,000 in IT. And I'm like, one, I was never in IT. So it's like, do you even know what I did? 2, I'm like, that's great for them. They might have all sorts of, degrees and certs that I don't have. And 3 is like, I was applying at first when I had kind of like a, oh crap, I need to make money mindset. And nothing really happened from it. So it was kind of just like, I don't know, it wasn't a kick me when I'm down, but it just put like a weird thought in my head. They were kind of drunk when they said it. And so I don't even know if it's valuable to bring up to them again. And I definitely don't want to write them off and like add another person to the write-off list. But I'm just like in my head, I'm like, oh, I don't really know how much I want to spend time with them. And that's about as much as I want to disclose. I'm not trying to shit talk people on this by any means. I just think it's important to kind of talk about what's bothering me. And that was something that really hit me in a weird way, because I'm like, I'm trying so hard for real estate. I'm right on the cusp of doing well. That almost just felt like, I was like, come on, can't you believe in me? Like, there's so much other things that I'm fine with you doubting. And it's almost like they were listening to me talk about comedy and talk about writing and all this, and we're like, well, you need to get a real job. And it's like, listen, like the day-to-day way I pay my bills, I'd rather have like 2 roommates in here than go back into the IT world. So anyways, that's enough about that. Um, gonna use as motivation. Things on a positive note want to get to is my bartending job's looking good. Not sure if I mentioned that. I might have, I might not have, but when I went there, things are looking good. The coffee shop last night that I've been going to, Fresh Brewed Coffee, such a cool place. That artist, JP Taylor, was amazing. There was also Wicked Gift there. That was pretty cool. They sounded kind of like the Doors, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, I mean, the coffee shop's very cool. I love what they're doing, just helping the community. If you're in the Myrtle Beach area, check it out. I think it's just such a great thing. Like, it kind of reminds me of almost like a New York, Brooklyn type thing. The music was great. There's no drinking there, which is good kind of for me and my sobriety. But I don't think it matters. Like, even if there was drinking there, it wouldn't bother me. And, you know, even if I wasn't sober, a lot of opportunities there. Um, what's this one? Stopped by. Oh, yeah, and then I also went to Wise Guys kind of after that last night, which was cool. Wise Guys is a really cool place. They have great food. I actually had like a steak and cheese, mac and cheese. Mac and cheese was delicious. And got to spend some time with the two bartenders there, which only the second time I've been there not drinking, but they're just great. Um, check out Wise Guys, like Tim and Haley, shout out. We had a good convo, it was fun. Probably talked their ear off, but hopefully it wasn't too bad. And then yeah, I feel like there's way more stuff I want to say, but I couldn't even quite remember it. And I'm sure I'll talk about it tomorrow anyways. Wow, actually not doing too bad. That's 11 minutes in. Just trying to get here under 15 minutes, which is good. I'm basically doing one last little piece of paper here, and we should be good. Open house went well. It was good, not great. Part of the reason you do these is to try to find buyers, not only for the specific house, but like down the road. Unfortunately, didn't have any that came without agents. And so that's okay. It just really wasn't in the best benefit for me. It's a very unique set of properties where, you know, for the right person, it's perfect. Someone who doesn't want a lot of yard work and stuff like that, but not a whole lot of yard, no room for a pool, which kind of threw one person off. A couple feedback on the color, just that it's a very unique color, and it is what it is, right? Like, not the end of the world. Not gonna cry over spilt milk. On a positive note, I got to spend some time with a new buddy Danny, who goes to my church. We actually sat together at church, him and his buddy Jeff. He's a potential client down the way, but really just a friend, right? Like, the end of the day, I'm all about meeting friends and community. He could never buy from me, and I'd still think it was a worthwhile conversation. On a positive note, he's a very talkative guy, so I gave him a couple cards and was just like, "Hey, you know, help a friend out. If you're talking to someone or you hear someone talking about real estate, awesome." Yeah. So rehearsal went well today for my play. I got kind of some good insights into you know, how to play the part. And so he's kind of a buffoon, like a big kind of guy. I almost like want to play him like Chris Farley, but I want to be careful not to fall into like a typecast or just like have an idea for him that doesn't quite fit you know, the words or the acting. So I'm excited to take it on. He's a very like kind of angry, frustrated. I mean, perfect, right? Like literally what I'm talking about here. So I mean, it shouldn't be too much of a stretch for me, but it'll be interesting learning how to do that. And it was a really cool. We did like a read through with everyone in the play. There's some funny parts for sure, and I think as we get better at delivering the lines and having it more natural, it'll be funnier. I can see a lot of parallels between that and comedy, which is good. A little lesson for everyone. So my next month is going to be crazy. Life is all about systems. Like, set yourself up for success. And so one system that everyone's aware of is like a calendar, and Google and your iPhone makes it very easy. And so I'm basically putting in everything for the next month and a half leading up into the play. It's good to do this anyways, but this is a dire reason. So between my rehearsals, my Bible study, going to church on Sunday, coastal baseball games, Wednesday going to workshops for comedy, Thursday open mic, I just want to have basically everything on the books so that nothing's left to chance. I don't like double book. Nothing's worse than having to cancel when you already have plans for something. So there's that. Cool. We're at 14 minutes, down to the wire. I'm going to work on comedy tonight a little bit, I think. Probably going to play like one or two video games, just Call of Duty. We'll see how that goes. With one of my buddies, but he's been trying to play, and he really only plays on the weekends. So we're going to get that done. I have the Wednesday workshop, so I want to come in with a whole bunch of jokes to try out. And it'd be nice to have them kind of written on note cards so I can actually like practice them as I would on the show and not just flipping through like a notepad like I have here. Stand-up event Thursday. Oh, sorry. Thursday I have the open mic, but I actually want to continue to schedule that stand-up event. And so I'm in the process of finding an event space. I have a few ideas. I actually need to reach out to one of the persons that has a larger venue, which would be good. But I also, the person that runs the play, he seems to have some connections that could work out. So might leverage that a little bit. I did not work out today, which in terms of like workability, that's not going to help me lose any weight by any means. And so, not making myself wrong for it. One of my famous lines there, but just going to like think about ways that I could work out after I play a couple games. Might go on a walk to kind of like reset my brain before I start doing some comedy. Could always write comedy on the walk too. And yeah, I mean, I just want to end it with like, you guys, obviously I'm in my head a little bit, whether this is helpful, hurtful, whether I'm just annoying. I know I post a lot. I think pretty soon I'm going to start switching, like where real estate stuff gets posted mostly on my real estate pages with just a couple hitting my main page, and then try to post mostly through my personal and my business, but really eventually separate them so that it's not just flooding people with 3 times the same amount. Just for background, because I know some people have asked or called me out. The reason I have the 3 accounts, or the reason the 3 accounts are posting everything and sharing, going to story and liking, is somehow that's supposed to help get it out to more non-followers. And so unfortunately, I'm kind of bombarding my followers with this stuff. Not that I want to by any means, but I really just want to try and get my content out there, which is why I am considering like advertisements in the future. Not that I want to spend a crazy amount of money, but I do think in the right places, or if it hits enough people, that this could take off. Trying to be positive overall, trying to be transparent and vulnerable so people themselves can be vulnerable, which I've seen, several people reach out, and I'm so grateful for that. And I think it's all I can expect, right? Like a lot of times people will do something for a month, and I'm barely even a month in, maybe not even, right? And they expect all the results in the world. I think just consistency is key. And everyone who's supporting me through it, just can't thank you enough for giving me the confidence, giving me a reason to keep doing it. Certainly, if I hadn't heard from anyone by this point, I would have probably given up. So it's totally on you guys, the audience, that have helped me through this. And I just love feedback. Like what are ways that this can be improved? What are maybe some things that I should do less of? What's working? What's not working? Both for me and your life, I'd love the feedback. And I'm now at 17 minutes, so I'm going to call it quits. But yeah, thanks again, everyone. Hope you have a great week. One thing I might try to do is start kind of giving the week that's upcoming in advance, and not really like a personal approach, but more like things to do around Myrtle Beach, maybe even things to do just locally. I know I said last thing before. Join Facebook groups, everyone, if you're not in them. There's some cool resources out there. A lot of special interest. That's how I found out about the plays. That's how I found out about open mics. Just encourage it. Feel free to send some my way. But I hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you all later.